Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. I suppose it was only a matter of time, but it appears that A&E is now going to be a privatised option. Already, should you need some medical care, you can opt to go privately. If you want to see a consultant and join a quick waiting list rather than a 6-month, 8-month or yearly waiting list that the NHS offers, you can jump that by, say, ringing up your local Three Spires or Aviva, or, if you're particularly flush, Harley Street. Nice, if you've got the cash. Not a lot of people do, some do, and they make use of that service. But A&E is a somewhat different kettle of fish. People tend to come in on ambulances or in ambulances, and then they face that maybe 4, 6 or 8 hour wait just to be triaged, and then they may have to be sitting in a chair in a waiting room for maybe 24 hours before a bed becomes available, and so forth. A group of NHS doctors have created a new A&E. It's a private style system. It's run by NHS doctors, and it's set to roll out across the whole of Britain. It's created by frontline clinicians who say that they can no longer tolerate the delays that are causing deaths of patients, and they also object to what they're calling the normalisation of excess deaths. In other words, these things are to be expected. No, they're saying most of these lives could be saved with urgent treatment, and they're willing to offer it at a price. The first pilot site, which is going to be in Mill Hill, is the London Urgent Care Centre. It's part of Chase Lodge Hospital. It offers walk-in access to senior emergency doctors, and you just pay £100. So basically, if you've got the £100 and you need to be seen immediately, you pay £100 and you're seen immediately in an A&E, type style access. Do I think this is a good thing? Yes. Yes, I do. And I'm going to tell you why. If you have people going to this walk-in centre, paying their money and then getting treated, they're not going into normal A&E places in hospitals, A&E access wards, thus meaning fewer people in the A&E for normal people who don't have the wherewithal to pay. So it frees up the A&E somewhat. That has got to be a good thing. Secondly, it means that more people can be seen and have their lives saved. They could be saved rather than having to wait and dying thanks to, quote, corridor care, of which there is a lot. And I'm going to tell you now, hands up, this happened to me. About, must be getting on for 2 years ago, I had to go into hospital. I had a very bad attack of psoriasis. It's not the normal psoriasis, it's a type called pustular psoriasis. It's incredibly dangerous because it not only, you get these tiny little white dots on your skin, they themselves are not an issue, but they are the indicator that you have this pustular psoriasis, which can affect your organs as well. That's why it's so dangerous. When your liver function is off the chart, where your kidney function's down, everything, it affects everything. So it's a very serious condition. I had to go to hospital. I was actually locked as well as part of it. You get psoriatic where you can't. You're locked in. You turn into a statue almost. You just, it's horrendous, And so I got to the hospital, and it was maybe half an hour just to queue to get to the receptionist, who took my details, who then took me through from the little porter cabin they were using at the time and around, and I was in a wheelchair and I had to be pushed around to sit in casualty itself, A&E itself, where I sat for 4 hours till eventually, and purely by chance, a consultant dermatologist walked past, saw me, looked at my arms, and straight away knew and said, "How long has this man been sitting here?" Blah, 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 blah. And it was only the luck that he happened to walk past and happened to notice. But I was 4 hours in A&E. I was then immediately triaged, taken to a side room, triaged. Right, we're taking you in, 100% taking you in, blah, blah, blah. I was then put into a nice comfortable chair in a waiting room, given lots of tea, brought sandwiches occasionally, and I sat there from, say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon through till, I don't know, it was 5 o'clock the following morning, when finally enough people upstairs had died and they'd cleared the beds, and they found one for me. I was in there for a week. I was on a drip. I was on 2 drips. I was on a drip for fluids and a drip for very strong medication. But that's how bad it was. And I was an emergency case. If I go to an A&E with this and walk in and go, "Here's me £100, boom, right, scribble, scribble, you get a consultant there and then. With a case like mine, that could save my life. With someone with heart palpitations, it could save their life. With a stroke, it will most definitely save your life. But isn't it a shame that the country's got so bad that this has now got to be a thing? That the NHS is failing so badly that this needs to be done? I think it's appalling, but I understand why it's there, and I say it's needed. What's the alternative? People dying, waiting, queuing? My other argument for it, and very, very briefly, is that because this is run as a private concern, it will be efficient. It will be fast. They will get you in, treated and cured and out, or at least in and treated and whatever they can do for you and out. There won't be boards deciding this. There won't be hundreds of people trying to make a decision here. There won't be 37 layers of sub-management. There won't be paperclip managers and things like that. It will be a very efficient system. I'll tell you what, £100? I'd find £100. I suppose most people at a push would find £100, especially if it was something, oh my God, have I got cancer? All of a sudden £100 is nothing. Let me know exactly what you think. I know this is going to be controversial, but let me know what you think. Thanks a lot. Bye.